after another thing after another thing. So we in the house. We got some family over here on the Cypher link. The We got the family in the house on Clubhouse. Peace and love. Sister Doreen's in the house, the astronaut warrior over here on the Zoom chat, and we are definitely in effect right now. What's going on, family? Peace and love, y'all. What's up? What's up? Woo!
Oh, yes, I'm so excited.
Yes, 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 yes. Hey, listen, let me tell y'all, this Virgo moon we got going on today got me just, feeling a little orderly. I'm getting things
Oh,
together in this house today, y'all. What? How y'all feeling?
I'm good.
Crazy. It gets even more crazy, man. I'm trying to keep civil intact. Like, I'm not trying to bring all the personalities out.
Yeah. Without a doubt, man. Without a doubt, man.
It's crazy because I was listening to this podcast and it kind of went in alignment with like what's going on astrologically. But this woman was talking about how the brain has been getting upgrades since 2012. And that, during from 2012, like the activations were the pineal gland and, just like seeing that we're part of the unconscious as well, as our conscious lives. But since recently, and she said it's going into like hyperdrive from May to September, which is, in the astrology world, that's when all this stuff started happening in May, like a lot of different things have happened that haven't happened in thousands of years. That instead of just dealing with the right and left hemispheres, like of blending those consciousness, like those sides, we're blending it from the back to the front, which is trying to bring the subconscious to the conscious, like to just get rid of those fears that we hold in the subconscious and the triggers and the trauma, and to incorporate it more and blend into the flow of the consciousness, and knowing that we're part of the grander consciousness. Does that make sense?
Hell yeah.
And that the symptoms, this is crazy. This is what really hit me, because the symptoms were just feeling like triggered out of nowhere, but then it resolving quickly. It's just like this ebb and like this up and down of emotions, being tired, like the sleeping patterns changing, the eating patterns changing, and just feeling exhausted, and then invigorated, like this back and forth.
Absolutely.
And a lot, with these cosmic sun flares, like that's going on too.
Yeah.
That's the symptoms as well. Like, so I've been just grounding myself with like all rooted vegetables. Like, I'm just like, okay, I gotta ground somehow, like, and just having this insatiable hunger. Like, I eat, and my boyfriend is like, "You're eating again?" I'm like, "Shut up. Shut the fuck up," because I don't know what's going on, and I'm just gonna friggin' ground myself if it has to be in my body and gaining friggin' 50 pounds. No, but I mean, it's just crazy how it's all happening synergistically, and how we talked about last week. It's just so divine. Absolutely. How everything, our bodies, our brains are transforming, our consciousness. Yeah, it's really wild. So I love it.
Yeah, super powerful, super powerful. And you know what? I really love how you started talking about getting grounded and eating those root vegetables and everything. That right there, that was a move. I knew about root vegetables before I knew about getting grounded. I used to always, every time I started, like if I went out on the night drinking, partying and shit like that, one of my saving graces, because I would have this weird in-between feeling and shit. And one of the saving graces for me would always be potatoes. So I would have a baked potato and just dress it up and eat that, and it would just bring me back to center. And then I started recognizing this, there got to be something because of it being a root vegetable. So yeah, I'm like, wow, how about that?
Yeah, it's crazy. That's what I ate today. I cut up a few potatoes, fried some onions with it, peppers, and I was just like, okay, yeah, it's really crazy.
Tags, yeah. Hey, peace and love, Sister Bridget in the house. How you feeling?
Peace and love. Oh my gosh, peace and love to you, Priestess Shakesha.
Hey.
I'm doing pretty okay.
Good.
Right?
Okay. Pretty okay.
As we're talking about grounding, I'm on my yoga mat, just like rolling around.
I love that. You go ahead.
Around. Today has been like the day of like, you know what? Let's get serious. Let's get on task of like what it is we want, where it is we're going, and how we want to get there.
Yeah.
Like, no more distractions. Just get to it.
Say, you know? Yeah. Hey, say word right there. I'm telling you, right?
It's different.
It does.
It's different today. Like today.
Absolutely.
Today is just like the day I was just like, holy fuck, like I ran out of excuses.
Yeah. Me and you both, right?
Like I ran out of excuses. All the avenues that I had, that I went down, that I tried, that I knew I was distracting myself with, is just blown up. All of it was blown up, and I'm just left with me.
Right. Check it out. How? Yes.
I'm just left with me.
Yeah. What a powerful time it is. What a powerful time it is, man, sis. I'm here to tell you, I can definitely relate. But what I'm trying to do right now, because I'll get into this perfectionist mind spin, right? So I'm really forgiving myself for not being on point and right and exact as I should be. Because I'll get into this should mentality. I should be doing this. I should be doing that. And I'll drive myself up a damn ass wall. And I also know, like the Sister Doreen was just saying, like, there's a lot going on out here in the cosmos. And so one day when I have that momentum, I'm taking it and I'm really rocking and roll. I did some feng shui in here, got some shit accomplished up in this house, right? Started right back then. I started right back at that whole bottom, not having no energy type of thing going on. You know what I'm saying? So I just kind of putzed around and did absolutely nothing. I hadn't been to the gym in almost a week, and I need that gym in order for me to, you know what I'm saying, feel, you know, it gets it gets my energy, like, you know what I'm saying, it gets my body activated or some shit. I ain't felt up for doing none of that shit. None of it. But then some days I do. So I'm up and I'm down, and I'm recognizing that these are solar flares that's going on now here. We got a lot of energy that's been back and forth. So I've been doing everything that I can, because I was beating myself up. Like, you ain't even got no list. You don't even have a to-do list put together. You know what I'm saying? Like, you don't even know what you finna do, you know?
Those solar flares hit level M. Like, that's crazy.
What does that mean?
So basically, usually the solar flares are at level C, and M is 10 times stronger. So it's like, and the symptoms would be that exhaustion out of nowhere, like that you don't know why you're exhausted or why you don't feel motivated. And that's what the solar flares is doing, because remember, the sun is trying to evolve its consciousness as well. You know, so it's also evolving its consciousness. And when I heard that, I thought of the book. Did you guys ever hear of this book, Seat of the Soul by Gary Zukav?
No. Let me write that down.
Oprah's best reading list, and I'm dating myself like over 20 years ago.
Okay.
Years ago. The same boat.
What's his name? Who? David? Gary
Zukav.
Gary
and
Zukav.
It's called Seat of the Soul, and it's all about how the soul evolves, like how it goes up this ladder of evolution. And, it just reminded me of that because and then I also read a book and I was trying to find it all day today. I have to find it. I have the physical copy of it somewhere, or I loaned it out to somebody. But there was another gentleman that actually had a similar concept, and he talks about how we incarnate as like a single cell organism, then plant life, then animal life, then human life, then planet life, and that's when the sun hit me, and then universal, like, and then black space, like emptiness, like nothingness, going back to what we came from. Consciousness is kind of emptiness, not emptiness, that's not a good word, but nothingness. Yeah, right. And so, that when she said that, she was like, well, the sun is evolving too. I was like, oh yeah, that's right, of course, it's a being too, and that's why we're feeling it. So he's feeling all fucked up too. So he's just like, bam, take that. I'm scared. Just like with these solar flares are like crazy. So we just gotta be gentle on ourselves. And when you said earlier that you get into your shoulds, I learned this a long time ago too by this energy lady I used to go to. She would always say, when should comes out of your mouth, stop it and say, I want to do this. I want, because there's a different vibration in the word want, and it changes your energy and your mindset. So should is putting you like in, like a disciplinary thing. You know what I mean? Like, so it has a negative connotation, but want comes from a higher vibration. So maybe just try to do that.
I like that. I like that a lot better. Yes.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I don't know if I remember last year, like last summer, at one point there was like a white light coming from the sun.
Yes.
Y'all remember
yes.
when that was happening?
Yes, I remember when that was happening. Yes.
That was bizarre.
Yes. It sure in the hell was. And it brought me back, because it's funny that you brought that up, because I was scrolling through social media. I wish I would have saved that clip. It was this dude that was over in California who was taking a picture up at the sky, and it appeared to be a second sun right behind the sun that we had.
And I remember that too.
And he was like, what in the hell? Now, I remember years ago, Dr. Delbert Blair used to talk about that, right? But to see that shit, I remember it was somebody else. I said, man, that's Photoshop. But I don't know what that was about that particular picture. It just, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. It looked real to me. It looked real to me.
Definitely, so at least from last year, we know that the sun has been shifting and going through its growing stage.
Yeah.
So, whoa, Doreen hit it when she was just like fatigue and then energy and then eating.
Right.
Because I'm like, I've been on the couch too many days, and I'm like, what's going on here?
Thank you.
I usually create a to-do list to get myself out of that. I had no type of wants to even create a list.
I know. I was sitting up there telling myself, man, this is real sad right here. You ain't even got a list. You ain't even got an agenda. I was like, what am I doing with my life? I know, right. I'm brutal to myself, boy. I got to stop that shit.
What am I doing? Like, what do I need to do?
Right. I'm gonna tell you something. Sheila, Melanie in the house, what's up, y'all? You know what, Sheila? I was thinking about you when I was talking about how brutal I was to myself. And I started thinking about, I was rapping with my girls, my granddaughter and my grandbabies and all of that. And they was talking about, growing up, and they talking about, so for whatever reason, I thought in my head, raising my kids up, I did a slam dunk, y'all. I mean, I started having babies at 17. By the time I was 20, I found myself with 2 girls. By the time I'm 23, I'm raising them by myself, and I worked the whole time. I did the damn thing, so I thought. But my kids apparently think I was mean to they punk asses. And I said, what the hell? So you was kind of mean to us. And most of our friends, I said, well, you only had 5 good friends that walked through the door. You know what I'm saying? And it was just amazing that, and then so she was like, well, Mom, you were kind of mean. I said, well, nobody mean to your punk ass. And then my granddaughter said, see, Grandma, right there.
That's what we talking about.
That's mean, Grandma.
Oh my God.
So yeah, so I guess I'm mean, whatever. But I still pat myself on the back. Y'all, they ain't gonna do that to me.
Exactly. And I think it's because we were so young, like we knew the shit they were trying to get away with. Because
Right.
I heard the same shit from Joe. He's like, and his friends, they'd be like, "You're the youngest mother, but you're the meanest mother. You're the strictest mother." I go, "No, because your mothers are tired and old, and
That part.
and they were all the shit that you got that we did when they were younger. So
Right.
you're not gonna pull it over on us. Like we got it.
Right. I told, what a crybaby you are. What the hell you mean I was mean to you? You survived. Damn kids. So whatever. I thought I had a slam dunk. I just knew they was go all high five me and tell me I was mother of the year. Well, whatever.
Be your own kin.
Right.
Your own kin.
Right. It be your own kin that want to hate the biggest.
Call me mean. My children call me mean. They say I'm mean. They say I'm mean to their friends. And, I get it. Because when I was younger, I say my mother as mean. All the kids in my neighborhood say my mom is mean. They call her the wolf. When you were a kid, they don't really teach you the full vastness of emotions. All you know is, mean or happy. You don't get the whys or
the range.
You're real limited.
Right.
How you can define it. And so as a kid, all the way up until 17, 18, he was mean because you have to learn you have to learn how to merge the emotions and learn how to not be offended by certain behaviors, but that's not taught to you to see your parent as anything outside of a parent. So if anything they're doing to you is not favorable, they're mean.
Yeah.
And that was the only other resolve, which is unfair to parents. But me being a parent, not having that understanding, when these little motherfuckers call me mean, I don't give one fuck.
Right.
Because I know I go to sleep with them on my mind. I
Thank
know, the purposes and things. And so I've learned to allow them to have that freedom of expression, because those are the points that they will revisit to heal and teach them later. So who am I to remove them of their truth, right? I mean, let me lean on into that shit. Get your ass and go clean up that goddamn room.
That part.
Right.
Let me lean into it a little more. Maybe make it effective. If I'm mean, then let's see how, so, but at the end of the day, I know later, like my son who's in the Marines now, he has a completely different understanding and he's so grateful, so it comes whenever it needs to come. I ain't gonna rob you of that. You want to look at me mean, goddamn it. I mean, I don't care.
Right. That's what I said. Well, then that's what it is. Then I mean, but you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I feel like this. I meant what I said. That's what I did. So I tell them I'm not mean. I mean what I say. And I was true to that. And when they, and when we growing up and everything, one of the things that I didn't understand is that, you kind of pick up little things. And sometimes you get these little friends, they come to the house, you know what I'm saying? And they're not really your friends, and some of them are. I could spot the ones out that wasn't right away. You tell them, what are you doing in my house? That's who I was. You know what I'm saying? What you want up in here? You know what I'm saying? Now, that's just who I was. I didn't care. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? I showed the kids love. They felt safe enough to come to me if they needed something and everything, but they also knew that I was not the damn one. That was that.
Exactly. And I would say, look, if I'm so mean, stop hanging out with me. Stop wanting to come to my house. Stop wanting to have everybody here. Go to somebody else's house.
Yeah, girl, I would tell them that too. That was what made me mean. Is that okay? That's enough of y'all. Y'all can go on and clear out now.
Exactly.
Right. But you know, like I said, that's just the person that I am. And that's what's really bringing up a lot of this energy, this Venus retrograde that's coming up, because in how we're connecting. And my thing is that at the end of the day, like, it's all love, but that's just how I operate. I'm not here to play a game with nobody and beat around the bush. But then I do recognize that there's sensitive energies, and both of my daughters are highly sensitive beings. Both of them was born on 2 days, and two energies are highly sensitive beings. And my oldest daughter was born on the 2nd, and my youngest daughter was born on the 20th. And so with the two of them, even though, you know, they had a mother who loved them very much, they also had a mother whose Venus was in Virgo. And Venus in Virgo is about, you know, noticing the details and making sure you got that shit tightened up. And it's all in love, but it doesn't get perceived as that half the time. So, you know what I'm saying? It looks a little bit different. But in those relationships, it gave an opportunity for me to be able to separate real connections from not so much, because there's some folks in this world that understand, that can feel you on a soul level and get where you're coming from. And then there's some other folks that where when that energy is so strong or that light is so bright, it blinds them, it offends them, and it repels them. And that's okay too. But one of the things that I'm noticing, that the way the cosmos is looking at this particular time with this Venus retrograde, it's all about us like really looking at the heart of the matter, because this is where it's at in Leo. Like the heart wanting what the heart wants, and where the heart is truly at, getting to the heart of the matter. And so these retrogrades, even though a lot of people was talking breakup season, this also may be an opportunity to like shift the way that our relationships and our connections look, and really be a lot more authentic, because we come up with so many programs that stick into our head about how relationships is supposed to look, and what and the way it's supposed to go, and how it should be. And and looking at this retrograde energy that's coming through, and one of those things that I really wanted to talk about, because as I'm noticing, I'm getting a lot of reviews in my relationships that I have that are closer to me. I wanted to make sure that we all checking in so that we can get through this retrograde and survive it unscathed. So yeah, that's where I'm at. But has anybody been noticing like old shit coming up from relationships, even old people, like people, you know, old friends showing up, popping through, exes showing back up, coming through? A lot of, like, you know, my kids telling me I was mean.
My ex-husband show up, I'm gonna knock him upside the head.
Stop it. Yeah.
But no, you know what? I in that area of relationships, the only thing that probably will be challenging is me and my sister's relationship. My dad is having an 80th birthday party August 4th in Chicago, and so I'm gonna go up there for that. And I haven't seen or talked to either one of my sisters. We just have that kind of relationship. We don't speak, but if they need anything or anybody bothering them, we busting down doors.
Right.
Other than that, there's no relationship. So I'm not for sure if we're at the point where that type of connection may be void now, and it's not really serving, and maybe we need to push to do a little better, because like I'm almost 50. Right. So you know what I'm saying? It's coming to a point where none of us are married either. So what all we have is each other, and to ensure the well-being and, you know, different things like that. So I think this may be the start of us getting to the heart of that, and either getting beyond that or just letting it stay what it is, because it's not bothering anybody, but you know.
Yeah.
But as far as relationship goes, I ain't really hardly had any, so I'm cool in that area.
Yeah. I just keep hearing that India Ari song, "To the Heart of the Matter." Oh,
Oh, I'm gonna have to check that
Yeah.
out. I'm gonna have to check that out. I ain't hip to
It
that.
over. It's a cover of another song. It's a cover of a song that somebody else sang. But the heart of the matter. And I think about the sun, and the heart is a fire element.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And you know, not only is the heart of fire element, because it makes me think so much about that Leo energy within itself. You know what I'm saying? With Leo being ruler over the heart and the desires of the heart and everything. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just curious to see how the goings on with this. I know that back early in the earlier parts of Cancer season, see, I'm one of those people that a lot of times when this energy starts coming through, I start to experience a couple of weeks, maybe even a month or so before the energy starts actually taking place. And so, you know, right. And so, like with that, like a couple of weeks ago, I was telling people about like really like securing relationships that are important to them, you know, because there's going to be a lot of distractions that'll pop up and everything within our relationships that could have people straying away or, you know, having ideas of walking away or all types of other bullshit. But this Venus retrograde, and the reason why I was saying that is because this Venus retrograde coming in, it gives us an opportunity to really check in and see what it is that we really want within our relationships. And it's not just our romantic relationships, it's our family relationships, it's our business relationships, it's all of our connections within itself. And so while we have the retrogrades that's also in Pisces and in Neptune, it's given us a real opportunity. And I'm loving the way that the divine has set this energy up, because it's almost as if I talked about how Akashic records look to be open, but it's really given us an opportunity to design the life we truly want to live, to design the life we truly like where we can get all of the fakeness and the fuckery out of here. And we can get rid of all of these bullshitting ass, phony ass, artificial smiling faces that stand around us. You know what I'm saying? And we know what they are and what that is, and we good with that. And we can release a lot of emotions that don't serve us and a lot of shit that's triggering us and setting us off in directions that take us outside of alignment of us getting to where we going. We get to release that shit. A lot of addictions and bullshit that's holding us back. We get an opportunity to release that. This Venus retrograde, it's going to also be good with us dealing with a lot of those addictions and shit like that. Me, one of my things, I like drinking, I like smoking bud, you know, and there was a time in my life where, you know, you would find me routinely under the influence, just about every single day. And I noticed when I stopped working, that was a space that I was in. And these retrogrades have really assisted me in being able to come to peace with who I am, because I always wanted to hide that shit. That was number one. Come to peace with who I am, but really examine that for what it is. You know, like that's one of my comfort measures that I go to anytime that I'm feeling wounded. And so I use that to help me feel better. So now what can you do now to feel better? Because you ain't productive under the influence all the time. You know, relationships with things that bring you comfort, with things that bring you peace, you know. Had to let, you know, some relationships that I had fall by the wayside, you know, because I started realizing like some of these relationships, like if I have to turn my light down, if I have to not tell people that I'm winning, then I probably don't need to be the fuck from around you. You know what I'm saying? Because if I can't share my victory with you, I can only share my losses with you. That's probably no good. If there's issues with feeling as if, you know, you got to walk on eggshells because you might offend somebody, then you might be standing around somebody that's committed to misunderstanding. And these is lessons that I had to learn, because you get attached to these relationships because they related to you. You've known them for many years and you get so connected and attached to them. It's kind of the perspective on those relationships, it gets a little wonky, you know? And so this is why I've been really trying to put out a lot of check-ins, a lot of, you know what I'm saying? A lot of information on things that will assist us in navigating that energy and being able to get rid of a lot of the guilt, a lot of those lower vibration energies. I'm thinking guilt, shame, and complicated emotions that come along with cutting folks loose, but not necessarily cutting folks loose, because we got to like kind of reevaluate like what shit looks like and where people belong in our life. You see?
And you know what else? This is like, along with the Venus retrograde, the energy that's adding to that is Mars is in Virgo and it's opposing Saturn. In Pisces. So basically, that's exactly what you were talking about. It's like pushing things that are not meant to be. Like if you feel like things are coming to a halt or some things didn't work out, it's because of this energy. And it's asking you to just take a break, like to pull back and to just sit and wait. Like if you're struggling with relationships or things, just sit and wait and revisit it. Like, and let your higher self, let the feminine energy of Virgo, you know, come in and give you the messages. Because, you know, Mars is action, right? How you want to also mean sexual things as well, because it's about your drive. So this is why it's all connected to the Venus energy in retrograde. It's asking you to not push things that are difficult, like that are just not working out. You know, don't use that masculine energy of forcing it, like trying to put that square peg in a round hole.
Right,
you know,
right.
Just sit back and wait and really analyze. And do I want this? Or do I want this person? Do I want this relationship? Do I want this job? Like, just don't push it. Wait and, you know, meditate on it.
Heck yeah.
Goes back to like the heart.
And absolutely.
The heart in traditional Chinese medicine is the yin organ, it's the feminine organ. And that organ is paired with a masculine organ, which is the small intestine. Right? So the small intestine, the job of the small intestine is to get the nutrients, you know, that's passed down from the stomach, you know, all the vital energy that it gets from the food, and then the rest it pushes out to the large intestine for the large intestine to release as waste. Right? So the job of the small intestine is to like process, like, what are we gonna keep? What are we not keeping?
You
know?
That's powerful. That's powerful.
I love it. I love that.
Virgo rules that too, I believe.
Yes.
Yeah.
Does.
Yeah. How about that? That's powerful. That is powerful. That's powerful. And you know what? And I like what you were talking about, because it's funny that you said that, because I happened to got a turtle this weekend. And when that turtle shows up, it's all about slowing down and not moving too fast right about now. Because when I got that turtle, was maybe right before the node switched over into Aries. And all of this energy of us switching over into Aries is more about the self, that I am energy. And this is really giving us an opportunity to be able to look at the things that's going on around us and really make some adjustments. And even though I like talking about like these far out planets, because they really affect the collective, they say that they ain't personal planets. I got a friend of mine that keep asking me why I keep dealing with them far away ass planets. But for me, I see bigger impact. I see bigger impact close to home. I see how it messes with the collective and it messes with us all in the same token. That's how I experience the energy.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when I'm looking at these nodes and how they activate, how the nodes is activating like all of these cardinal energies that's on our charts and everything, but that Aries node puts us into that, let's get her done, let's move quickly, you know. And I've been getting like all of these downloads, all of these ideas and all of this other shit and everything. And every time I'm thinking of something, I'm like, yeah, I need to move. I need to get something. And then all my energy will drop. Boop. And then I ain't finna do shit. And then I jump up again with all these ideas. And so Spirit let me know, like, just sit with them for a minute, because I'll get an idea, I'll start changing everything up, and then it'll be like, no, you need to do it this way. So I do really see, especially for me, because I can go into a creative wormhole where I start inventing all types of shit nobody gets, and then I forget where I was going. You know what I'm saying? And so it's just, you know what I'm saying? So this node switch is really putting a very it's putting a very cute little twist on this energy right about now. A very cute twist on this energy. But then I like where it's sitting at. Right? See, where this node is at today, I don't know for sure where it's at for y'all, but where I'm at in Pittsburgh, it's at 29 degrees. And that 29 degrees is all about like gaining like a lot mastery lessons and shit like that. When it's coming in at this 29 degrees, for me, how I experience this energy is more about us gathering these lessons and showing up for ourselves in profound and impactful ways. So with this Venus retrograde and all of these other retrogrades that's showing up, then we got this Pluto that's showing up here, that's transiting at 29 as well. And Pluto, it being in Capricorn, is giving us an opportunity. We checking in with the old way of doing shit. Now we can look at it on a global level of what's going on in this world, because, you know, we ain't never really challenged this system all like that. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna count on our kids, because I think we kind of too punctified to deal with it, but I'm gonna leave that right there. However, we got that at a 29 degrees, and we're about to shift into Aquarian age, where in 2024, where things is going to start looking different, and we're going to start moving different. This is what they talk about, that 5D, and everybody needs to raise their vibration, because the energy, the expression that we're having is going to require that. And it's showing that here in the charts. It's profound how this works. Profound.
Yes, and it all ties into that feminine energy we were talking about earlier. Because basically we've been in a masculine energy for the last like 2,000 years, however long the Piscean era age lasted.
Okay.
So basically it's all about what I was saying earlier of not forcing things, like not allowing it, like, you know, Bridget was saying, that yin energy, to allow, to receive it, to allow, like, you know, to manifest it. We're really meant to use our alchemy at this time. You
Absolutely.
know, right? We came back to perfect and use our alchemy the right way, because we might have not used it the right way when we were Atlanteans or Lemurians, you know? I'm not saying anything, but you never know.
Hey.
So I think that we were meant to like really perfect it. And this is why all of these things are happening in our body, in our brains, in our consciousness, our unconsciousness, like making us preparing ourselves to get ready to just sit back and receive it. Right. That it's as easy as that. We don't have to force anything anymore.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely.
So.
Absolutely. And that, you know, like I said, this is just really putting us in a really good position. That's if we really want to do that. I was looking at my girlfriend's chart, and she's being activated, like her nodes are Libra, Aries, and her north node is Aries, just as it's in. So, you know what I'm saying? It's, you know, not like mine that was flip-flop. Hers is like direct on. So that's showing like some real activations here. But these are really like for a lot of us, especially those that have come up within my generation, those of us that have Pluto in Libra. This is going to be a profound time for many of those individuals, in respects to how we dealing with our relationships. This is what makes this time right here so impactful, because if we can get ourselves in a space where we're preparing, like Sheila, she was just talking about how she's going back with her family and everything, like being armed with this information, like going to see family, that they can kind of curveball you with some shit. You know what I'm saying? And if you ain't really prepared for dealing with family, you know what I'm saying? They mess around and push some buttons and hit some triggers. You know what I'm saying? They want to bring up some shit that happened when you was 13 and you was doing the best you could. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? That's, you know what I'm saying? Family has that ability to do that. And then the response to somebody bringing up a painful memory like that could set us in a space that to damage those relationships and change that whole trajectory. We get an opportunity to get in there and really get that shit straightened out. So where I'm looking at, where I'm at on my the Venus here, it is, my Venus is in Virgo, so that is going to be transiting. Hold up, let me see where the yeah. Well, of course, my Venus in my first house. So I got a whole lot of shit that's going on with you know, my personality, my ego, how I see myself, you know, showing up for myself. Like, this is all my life lesson. And this is probably why I'm preaching so much, because these are all of the profound shits that I'm getting in navigating relationships.
Exactly.
Yeah, I came here to repair that shit.
Yeah. Not being so hard.
Oh shit. Well, you know, I feel like if I ain't being hard on myself, then who is? But
yeah, no, but it's not, don't push it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
And don't say I should, and like beat yourself up about that, because you know, you're the only one who probably thinks that in your head, you know?
Yeah.
So you say, I want to, what's the best way to sit back and receive it? Yes, I'm going to take some steps, but I'm not going to push it. Like, you know, I'm just going to like do a few things, but then wait back and see if that's the right way to move.
Absolutely.
You know, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, if anybody wants us to look and see what Venus, what house their Venus is, let us know.
Please do. Please do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's get it. I was somebody
because,
let me see. I was trying to set it
up.
up.
Okay. All right. Because I was like looking, I was like, I don't know what I'm looking at right now. And I would like to know, because I've been having a lot of interesting interactions lately.
Okay.
You know?
Okay.
And like, I feel okay about it, but at the same time, I'm like, what is making me attract certain types of individuals? Like, I've had conversations about fentanyl, about like 3-4 times within the last 3 days. And then a man who was upset that he was brought back was talking to me about being upset that he was back, you know?
Okay.
And right. And it was like, it really did feel like I was explaining that it's normal with near death, if that's what they're going to call it, to feel very peaceful when you're over there, but you are back, you know. Wasn't your time. But it's just been really interesting, because it's just been a little sad, because they felt, you know, that's why it's like I bought Narcan, and it's more than just drugs, because these people are like suicidal, you know, and like very, very sad. And he was just talking to me about how he was like shocked that I said anything to him. I was in my coffee stand and I saw him nodding off, and it didn't feel like a normal drug nodding off, you know. And luckily I did keep him awake, because he just got like beat in the head with like a bat, like
oh wow.
Yeah, like, but he was like manifesting all these situations because he's done, like he feels done, you know. And it's like just being able to sense that, but be sort of in a peaceful state, because that's really how it felt. I felt like I didn't have to you know how sometimes you talk to people and you don't want to overwhelm them with all the spirituality all at once. I didn't feel like I had to do that. I felt like I could just be like authentic and let them know what I felt about it, you know. Right. And then after that, I went to feed the birds like I do every morning. And then I met this man. He's like, yeah, I just had to bring somebody out of an OD today. Luckily I had my Narcan. And I was like, you know what? I'm ordering this shit because obviously, I'm not gonna reject what spirit's obviously showing me, know. And he's like, yep. And then somebody was in a park OD'd. We couldn't get to him. And I was like, dang, it felt very, very underworld, but very misunderstood too. So I would love to know where that's transiting, what's going on.
Yeah, well, let's get it. Okay. I was trying to get folks to come up out. Yeah, it's a lot going on. When's your birthday?
It is March 12th, 1999.
12. That's my nephew's birthday.
Oh, really? Pisces gang.
Yeah. Pisces, yeah. So he 1991, but yeah.
Well, yeah, that's not.
Yeah, he in the okay, yeah, we got March 12th, 1999.
Okay.
You got it?
Where? What time?
Okay. Do you know the time?
Yeah, 22:28.
22:28. So that is 10:28 p.m.
Mm-hmm. Nighttime, baby.
All right.
And
so
where?
yeah.
Pasadena, California.
Pasadena, California.
Okay. And where do you live now?
Auburn, Washington.
Auburn. Okay. All right.
Wait, how do you spell Pasadena?
P-A-S-A.
I found it, sorry.
All right.
Like it came up.
Yeah.
Keisha, what day are you gonna do for the transit?
I was doing tomorrow. What you want to do next? What?
Okay.
Yeah,
we could do the 21st.
All right.
21st.
You do the 21st. I'm gonna look at the 22nd when this retrograde hit.
Okay.
Yeah, or we can both look at that because I don't think that's too far off from where the energy is right now. Yeah, let's look at that.
Let me break out the notebook because y'all putting serious faces on. Shit's about to get real.
Yeah, right. We in the business. All right. So yeah.
What city she's in right
now? She's in Auburn, Washington.
Yeah. Do you need like a zip or something?
No, we don't need the zip.
Social? You need my social?
Not the social either. Not the social. Yeah. We ain't gonna take it that deep. We would have to definitely take the recording off. Right. A pint of blood.
A lock of hair.
Right. Okay. That's weird. So yeah, they got on universal time. He was born March 13th. That's deep.
Right. Yeah.
That's hey, that's heavy. Okay. So let's see where we at. Okay. So your Venus is in Aries. All right now. Oh, snooky doogie now. We talking about some activation. Up in here. All right, hold on. Let me take a look. See. So you got Venus lighting up that 6th house, and your 6th house that is ruled by Virgo. So let's talk about the 6th house. The 6th house is about like the work that you do. You know what I'm saying, and your working conditions, like shit that's going on at work. You know what I'm saying? If you got a job, yeah, okay. And then you're also your health. And so I noticed I was peeping you on Instagram, you know what I'm saying? So feel that activation, right? So you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so Virgo deals with that, you know what I'm saying? Your work life, your health, and all of that other stuff. So it looks like, you got some stuff that's happening at work, your health,
my resting heart rate has been 100.
Wow.
Right? I was like, I'm a hummingbird.
Yeah. Hummingbird is a powerful totem. So let me tell you, it's funny you brought that hummingbird up, and then you got this 6th house that's lit up, right? Because when that hummingbird comes through, that hummingbird wants to tell you about making sure you are holding your joy. keeping yourself in a
That's
high
deep.
vibration. And when she starts stealing your joy, the hummingbird lets you know you got the freedom to get the hell from around that.
Yeah.
You don't need that aggravation in your life, is what the hummingbird wants you to know. And
Yeah.
anytime you find yourself in a space that's stealing your joy, the hummingbird say, remember, you got the freedom to come from around them bitches and be ye separate. Hold up, let me find out what else he got to say. Let me make sure that I ain't forgetting nothing important. But
Yeah.
Yeah, and also I'm gonna try.
yeah, go ahead, I was about to say, give her some of that science while I'm looking up the hummingbird.
All right, okay. So basically, your transiting Venus, though, is hitting. See, Shakesha was talking about your natal Venus. Your natal Venus is in your 6th house. So basically, what's going to happen now is the transiting Venus that we were talking about earlier is hitting your 10th house. It's hitting your house of career. So basically, there might be some changes in your career. You might meet somebody in your in that profession, like in your profession, because since it's Venus, and it could be about finding new love or something happening in that situation. So that's what's going on with the transiting Venus.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yes, and also with you have a stellium in your 6th house. I'm not sure if you know that. Well,
With Aries placements or something. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. So you have
Mercury.
You have Jupiter there. You have Mercury there. You have Venus. So you have a lot of energy in the 6th house. So no wonder you're in the health. No wonder you're in the healthcare profession, because the 6th house is about.
I'm not, but I am at the same time. I'm a barista, but I always end up around situations that deal with other people's health.
With health.
Or my own.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were, but you were talking about like the suicidal guy and getting the medication, so I thought you were. But yeah, sure. Because the 6th house deals with service. It deals with daily routines. So you're a barista. We drink our daily coffee. Yeah, so that all makes sense too.
Yeah.
And it's also about the body. It's also about the healthcare. And it's interesting how it's kind of all tied in that.
Right.
And you love that because that's where your Venus is. And also your Mercury. So like that's, you think about these things,
Yeah, too much.
It lights you up,
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
It's a lot in the head. A lot in my head.
And Jupiter expands anytime wherever Jupiter is. So you have this, because it's in the sign of Aries, you have this innovative way to look at maybe healthcare, service, daily routines, the body, the food that we eat, the diet that we eat, because that's all part of like the Virgo axis too. So, and the Aries is like, how to be the first of something, to be the innovator of something, to move first on things. So, yeah. I mean, it's interesting because you have a lot of energies tied into that. So I know it has to be a big part of your life. You have a lot of, personal planets there.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely. So, yeah. And then I'm looking here at, okay, all of these major activations you got here. When we hit that node switch, because now that node is over in Aries now. So that activated the way that you communicate, that activated your relationships, and that activated your growth and expansion. Now they talk about Jupiter because that they say that's, where your wealth, your success, and your abundance is, but also wealth, success, and abundance comes in a form of wisdom and knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And growth and expansion. And that's one of the blessings that Jupiter brings. And you got yours that's also at that 6th degree point, which is showing that you're going to have some expansion and growth. So see, this whole situation you got going on at work with this Narcan thing, and it seemed like the two of those things ain't jiving or whatever, you know what I'm saying, or you're not really sure. Wait and see how that plays out, because I'm looking at these, I'm just looking at your chart here, and it's giving me these vibes about how you're going to do something, just like Doreen was saying, something new and innovative here, you know what I'm saying. And this is looking to be in the workplace itself. She might have said that while I was looking up for the hummingbird, so excuse me if she did. However,
never heard too many times.
But what I'm seeing is major growth that's going on in that whole particular area of how you work, how you perform service, and definitely, you know, about how you've been taking care of yourself, how you showing up, how you serving the world. And this could definitely be in that whole arena of healthcare and all of that. Now, I'm not sure if, you know what I'm saying, the barista thing is something you want to expand upon, or you got your eyes somewhere else, or how you plan to navigate and everything. But I really want you to take this particular time, because especially for you with a lot of Aries all up in your chart like this, right? You're going to feel a little tempted at times to just hit the ground and rock and roll and keep moves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, but this Venus retrograde is really going to encourage us to sit down. See, we got 40 days and 40 nights of this Venus retrograde that's going to come through, that's going to set it off in Leo season, right? And Leo is a cousin of that Aries energy, you know? So that's going to really put that fire and that motivation on there.
I think that's my North Node in Leo.
I'll check you. Hold up. I missed that. But yeah, there you go. So show enough. See, that's what I'm talking about. So yeah, so this is really gonna be a time where you start activating and you really start showing your ass out here in these streets. And so seriously, you know, this is, and you're going to be really activated, but this is really a time for you to really sit with a lot of the ideas, because they also say, now, I don't know, I'm not here to give you the rules, because I'm not big on rules, but they say that it's not a good idea to make any major changes during a Venus retrograde. So if you was thinking about, like, you know, people dyeing their hair purple and green and blue and shit like that, that might not be good for the retrograde. You know what I'm saying? Maybe test the water a little bit, get you a wig or some streaks or something, but nothing major like that. They also say you shouldn't get married, sign contracts, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? You sign up under contract under the Venus retrograde. That's what the word on the street is. You do what holds your heart. You know what I'm saying? That's a discernment move right there. Right. But what I am saying is that that's definitely something to be aware of, because this energy can be a little tricky and make us strike, because see, the way that this Venus retrograde energy is kind of set up, it's set up to present us with opportunities that may glitter, but it ain't gold. So
do I get a like cheat code out of this? Because it's like, I have so many things in Aries, including like my Venus and Mercury, and I was born in a retrograde in Mercury. So like,
ooh, that's gangster.
So maybe like, maybe it's clear. Because I always wondered like what that's like, because everybody's like, oh, Mercury's in retrograde, and then I'm like, okay, but like I was born like that, so what does that mean for me? You know?
Wow.
You're comfortable with it. You're comfortable
with
it.
You're comfortable.
Because you already understand it. So
that makes sense.
People are saying, oh, it's in retrograde and this, and they're going crazy. And you're like, what are you guys talking about?
Right. I'm like, okay, sit down.
Yeah, you're totally fine. You're like, what do you, I feel great, you know, because you're used to it. You're totally right for it.
Yeah.
And so to talk about the other transits that we've always been talking about, like on the show, we talked about it. The two other ones, the Pluto that you're going to have for 20 years, that's in your third house. That's going to be in your third house, and it's in Capricorn. So basically, like, that's what rules your third house, Capricorn, right? Yeah. And so, because it's in retrograde right now, right? Because it's going to move over to your fourth house. But right now, it's like in Capricorn. Right?
So how's that line with, because I got Capricorn moon, so what's that mean altogether?
I'm sorry, what you say?
I have a Capricorn moon.
She had her.
Yeah, she's a Capricorn moon.
Capricorn moon.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
So let me ask you. So your Capricorn moon, like, do you feel restrictive with your emotions? Like, do you?
No, it just feels like it's because the Pisces really balances that all out, you know. So it just feels like it's very logical lens first before it gets to the emotional part. You know, like there's always this unconditional love, but then it's like very like I'm processing this through like laws or things that like make sense too.
So
So it's strange. Yeah. Like I make it very logical too. Yeah.
Okay. So
Do you hold
that
this
will
like,
shift.
yeah, I was about to say, see, is it more like, see, because sometimes that Capricorn energy can be more like that parental type of energy as well.
Right.
I'm like everyone's mom. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah. See, where it's sitting at.
You judge your emotions.
Right. Where it's sitting at.
Yeah.
It sits like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is the person that's kind of telling people the way to go. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, you know, and you know, I have a Cancer moon. You know what I'm saying? And so that's kind of similar to a Capricorn moon, but not so much, because see, that Capricorn is that Papa Bear energy and Cancer Mama Bear energy. You see what I'm saying? And so
you're the opposition. Like, you guys are full zodiac. So when you're see, Cancers are more empathetic and sympathetic. They go right into it. They feel it, you know. Where the Capricorn is going to judge it, where the Capricorn is going to analyze it. So I would say to you, lean more into the Cancer side of that moon, you know, because it is in Capricorn, but it's also in Cancer, because that's the opposition of it. Right. And I would be as hard on yourself, you know, because it's in the third house as well, with the Pluto in retrograde right now. There's going to be a lot of deaths and rebirths, or like letting go and of things that, or emotions, or the way you process emotions die off. And you're going to have a new way to process and feel your emotions. Don't judge them. Don't analyze them. You can put it. Listen, I'm a Virgo, so I get about
and I'm a Virgo, Virgos.
Of emotions, okay, but you can't analyze emotions. Like it's
what?
You know, it's kind of productive almost.
Absolutely.
Well, yes, but here's how I see it. Like, you know, like in the Kabbalion, where they have like these huge overarching ideals that still have a lot of emotions in them, but it's not like all is one, like that phrase. That's kind of what I do with the emotions. And so, yeah, I guess in a way it's like I still feel in the moment, but I'm able to like get to this place of like 0.4 most emotions, because I'm like, it's all happening for a reason. So that makes me internalize things a lot less.
Right.
You know?
But see, that's part of the trick with this Capricorn energy too, right? Because it's so restrictive. You understand? And so one of the thing is about like holding emotions back. And so one of the things that you got to recognize is that on the other end of it is Cancer. That's that maternal energy. And so even though your restricted emotion, when you're handling people, is coming from a good place, because looking out for their best interest, it may not always come across that way. And this is some of that activation that you may see during this, because Capricorn is cardinal energy, you see, right? And so where you have this Capricorn moon that's at this Aries degree, where it's at right there, which is almost as if, you know what I'm saying? This is that I'm going back. The tarot card, the Emperor came up. You know what I'm saying?
Very much like
energy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it needs to go this way. This is what needs to happen, and that's where it's at. but it's coming from a very loving place.
And it can now, because in past lives it did not. And I know that that's because like the energy is very much so like in all of the realms that have to do with like past lives, it's always been very just cut and dry, a lot of violence, you know. And then in this life it feels like I'm in a vessel that's just capable of more emotion, just, you know, like insanely sensitive, but I still have this very logical processing from all the other ones. So definitely doing better at trying to combine that, find like a good balance.
Yeah.
Because it's like I still do feel so much for people, but it definitely always comes out in a very strict way.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as long as, I mean, if that's a beautiful thing that you're rising above and seeing it from an analytical point of view.
Yeah.
Just as long as you're not pushing them under the carpet or not allowing yourself to go through those. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you're already at that point, like you said earlier, just to balance it now.
Right.
Just to create
just to have a balance.
Right. She's finishing out the karma on this lesson on this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So she go overcome this one and move past this. Definitely.
Yeah. Because there was surely a lot of that.
Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just going to talk about your Saturn, because your Saturn's in your 5th house. So that's your house of creativity. That's where you find joy. That's where you find like childlike play. So like at this time during this retrograde, I would just find things that you find joyful. Like remember what you did like as a child or as a young kid that you found joy in. Like just let go and play. Because honestly, with the moon in Capricorn, and then with all of those Aries in the house of service, and Virgo can also be kind of very non-playful. So I would just encourage you to just like, you know, get your hair down and just play. You know, just find things that you can create with. If you like to paint or music or whatever it is, you know.
Absolutely.
Use this time.
Absolutely. I agree. Oh, I'm agreeing with you 1,000%. Where I'm seeing this Saturn, where Saturn is in its early stages. And so, you know, I'm looking at that, it being in Taurus, that's all about like tapping into that artistic side and making things that's fun. This is about things that bring you joy, pleasure. You know what I'm saying? And being like really creative. So even let's say this was one of the things that, you know, I was sitting with for a minute. Like, so even if like right now working, you got this thing that you do to make money, you know what I'm saying? But having something where you can be creative, something that brings you joy, that's going to be a game changer right there for you. A game changer. And you may already have those things, but really start putting those energies into those things, because this is where you go find some new and innovative ways to really change things, you know, in your life. For the better. Definitely. And then here's the other thing. So this is something I want you to, so with this Venus retrograde, I'm trying to look at it in the chart and see how I can explain how it's hitting me intuitively. What I want you to look out for is really jumping into relationships too quick during this Venus retrograde. If you can, if you're one of these people, because you got this Venus you got this Venus in Aries, and it looks like, you know, you kind of passed that lesson. You like, you know what I'm saying? You got that Venus in Aries, you know what I'm saying? And, you know, and it's at, what is that, 23 is Aquarius. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the different, the unusual and all that. Yeah. So you got that there, you know, so that's going to be activated because of that Leo energy. It's the opposite of that. It activates that, right? So you going to be feeling kind of, you know what I'm saying? Kind of free, kind of frisky, kind of about the business of it. You heard? And that's a good thing because you gonna be swagnificent at this particular time.
Swagnificent.
You heard? Swagnificent. And,
let me write that down for the record.
Right. And you gonna be a little on the irresistible side and all of that. So if you in a relationship, be wary of that. If you're not, still be wary of that, because this is also a time where you get into those relationships. It looks good, it feels good, it sounds good, it's rock and roll season, right? But again, this is where I'm starting to see with a lot of people where these relationships lighten up in their charts. Respect the brief relationships. They come in to teach us. They come in sometimes to help us to heal. Sometimes relationships is only supposed to be for a brief period in time, and that is okay.
I don't like that very much.
You know, right? Okay, yeah. Well, I guess so. Venus and Aries, but yeah, you know, that is okay. It is
but
good to be.
I feel like the Venus and Aries in relationships more so caters towards like the type of women that I like are all very much so fiery like that. But when it comes to like dating people, it's still so Capricorn. Like if it's gonna be short, I don't even want to do it. So I really don't even focus on that at all, you know. And where maybe I should, but then again, the restriction part of Capricorn is like,
well, what I will say is that has a lot to do with, it's so crazy you just said that, because I was just looking up at your Chiron, and I saw what your natal Chiron is. It's your natal Pluto is in the second house, and it's in Sagittarius. So Chiron in Sagittarius is wounds of beliefs. So, you know, maybe you were taught a certain thing as a kid. You had these, you know, belief systems that might have been passed down through family or society, and it didn't feel true to you, or it changed along the way. And having
like Christianity.
Say it again.
Oh, just Christianity, you know, but we deaded that, you know. I mean, with respect to all the deities, because they be with me, they still be with me, but yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And then having it in the second house, it's all about, like, you know, we've always talked about, like, how you value yourself, you know, what you value. And also having that confidence as long as there's physical comforts. So it's no physical, because Taurus, you know, the second house is traditionally ruled by Taurus, even though yours is ruled by Sagittarius. Taurus is all about our senses, you know, how we feel, how things look, how things taste, like they like decadent things. So basically, are you basing your self-confidence on like what you have, or like how you value your, you know, other things or material things? And the thing is, it's also when we talked about emotions, it's interesting because it says that there may have been little or no affection in childhood. Like, so.
Oh yeah, everybody was really bad at that. Yeah, they're better now, but they were.
Right. So that's what made me think, wait a second, do you analyze your emotions like based on the affection that you receive? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think so. Because even when I was super, like, I still was very much so a Pisces child, you know, who was very emotional over everything, but it was definitely met with logic, you know, or a gift. They'd buy me a gift.
Yeah.
Now I hate gifts.
Because that Pisces is definitely at a Capricorn degree. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but even the fact that the Chiron and the Pluto is in the house of like gifts, like, you know, Taurus is all about like, you know, the material things.
Absolutely.
So like that's how she, like, you know, and having the Chiron there, that's the wound. So basically the
My mom's a Taurus.
The lesson there is you definitely have to value yourself, not based on, you know, physical comforts or physical things, material things, and watch out for being too stubborn and not valuing other people's opinions. Because sometimes you can, because it's in the Sagittarius rule, like, Sagittarian rules your second house, you might think that you know better. The Sagittarians are the sages. Now, mind you, they are the sages. They see things
I know nothing.
picture. They see things from the bigger picture, but at the same time, it being the traditional Taurus house, Tauruses can be stubborn. And it is the house of values. So, like, just make sure you're valuing other people's opinion. You might not have to agree with them, but you can maybe value them and take, like a buffet, what works and what doesn't work.
Yeah, I think that's exactly, because I'm a good listener. I worked on that. I used to be horrible at that, but it's like, I filter it all in.
Yeah.
You're working through it all. So you're mastering the lessons. Good job. You're doing it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep. And it shows that this is definitely some of the lesson that you came here for, with your Pluto being there with that Capricorn angle, where it's all about you really see. This is really a good example of how, like, reviewing those values, what you believe to be true, what you've been taught and everything. With that being under retrograde right now, the way that this is positioned up, this is definitely old school teaching. You know what I'm saying? Versus where we going now. Yeah.
And I think
it's gonna move into your fourth house. That's where it's gonna stay for the majority of the retrograde.
Absolutely.
Because it's gonna move to Aquarius. And what is the fourth house? The fourth house is how we ground ourselves. The fourth house is where we feel comfort. The fourth house is back to home, right? It's traditionally the Cancer house, which is the mothering house. It's like where your siblings are, where your nuclear family is, where how you have your ideas of what your house would look like. So all those areas of grounding, you're going to be really transforming with this Pluto energy. There's going to be a dying off and a death and a rebirth, a transformation of how you feel grounded in a unique way. Like Aquarius,
that makes sense.
Unique, forward-thinking way.
Yeah, I've had a lot of interesting dreams with projections, really, with family members, right? And I always have, even like childhood friends, I still do. It's very interesting. It just feels like everybody is still up there in all their stages of their life, whether we were 10 or whether they're older. It's weird, but during those things, it's sometimes the roles will be changed, like what people are doing, almost like actors and actresses, but you see who you make the villains out to be. And I think that has been like the most humbling thing when it comes to like certain family members. Like I see like what versions of myself made somebody a villain, like younger me. So I think that's what's difficult about it sometimes is like we're in such a multi-dimensional energy right now where it's almost, and for me, it, you can see in my chart, like it's all very mental. So it feels like all these different versions of myself, like collabing in a way with certain thoughts and ideas and even dreams. So that's why, I don't know, I guess sometimes that's why it gets very observer effect instead of feeling it all, because it's just feeling a lot of different versions,
Yeah. And you're also a Scorpio. I mean, you're a Scorpio ascendant. So of course, Scorpio can go too deep. Scorpio loves to go deep. They don't like the surface things, but I understand why you might pull back and just observe it, because Scorpio can maybe sometimes hit places that hurt a little deeper. You know what I'm saying? Like they say that Scorpio has that sting, the Scorpio sting. So it could sting a little. But you're learning, and you are making those changes. You are on track. So you're seeing it all. Just like get out of your head. Since you analyze, you say you have all those a lot of air qualities. But I also see, I don't know. I don't really pick up that much air. I pick up a lot of fire. A lot of fire. A lot of fire. You have more fire energy than air. Because you have all those things in Aries, then you have those two things in Sag. You have your North Node, your natal North Node in Leo. You have a lot of fire.
powerful manifestation energy
Yes.
going on in these streets.
Yes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah.
You gotta
Well, how do I make the manifestation things less fiery? Because
You got to curb
Yeah.
the emotional thing. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? See, your ruling planet is Pluto and Mars because you're a Scorpio rising. And so, you know what I'm saying? So you got to take all of that into account and see that water energy is really intense with that Scorpio energy. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So there's a balance to that. One of the things you can do with your rituals is when you get you a candle, put it in some water to help to ground that energy. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And then that way it'll help in supporting, the emotional component as well, and really focus and direct your attention,
Yeah.
So you'll see some true activation going on here in these North nodes because you got that North node that's in Leo. So this is another thing is that you about to surprise some folks in these streets, right? Because you also got a Lilith that's in Scorpio. That's your rising sign. So you about to open up a whole nother dimension of who you are in these streets. And you
Mars is there too.
yeah.
Like,
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Shit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
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 Right.
And her Pluto, which is also
That's so
Scorpio,
funny.
Yeah.
is in your second house. So
Yeah.
it's all about how you value, how you value yourself. You know?
Absolutely.
And that's what it all is about. Because being, it in your first house, having Mars, the ruling planet of your rising sign, in your first house and second, it's all about you, girl. It's all about you. Because that's really the two houses that are really about like the individual. Like I am and I value. Those are what the two mantras of those two houses are.
Right.
So you have to really value yourself, love yourself, and just take action. Be creative. With all that fire. With all that fire. Be creative.
Take action and be creative. So one thing that I want to pull your coat to too. You and listen to what she's saying about taking that action and being creative, because you got your Lilith placement in Scorpio. Your Lilith placement is all about that part of you that you've been wanting to get out, but you just afraid to just really open up and let her rip. Right? So yeah. So this right here, I had to pull up this Lilith in Scorpio. It say Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio is a special placement. As Lilith's energy is very similar in the core themes of the Scorpion, both deal with pain, grief, trauma, and seduction, taboos, and the unconscious. And this is a very intense and transformative Lilith sign. So you got to really know that this right here, see, you got, not only is your Lilith in Scorpio, but it's also sitting at this 20 degree, right? So you got to really make sure that you staying grounded in your emotion. That's why I was talking about that fire with that candle and everything. Mess around, but you know what I'm saying? And get you something to really, you know what I'm saying? Some, you know what? I don't know why the lava stone is coming up for me. The lava stone. I will tell you something
lava
about
rocks.
Obsidian. Yeah, lava rock. There you go.
I like lava rocks.
Yeah. Work with that. Work with that. Because that can definitely
I used to play in those as a kid.
Helping grounding that energy and all of that too. And put some of that in the water too. Maybe that might help with that. Maybe that's that's
that makes sense.
Water. Put that in the water. That's what.
And myself, I've been trying to find rivers, because like every time I've ever been like sick, all I had to do was go in a bathtub and then give me about 30 minutes and I'm not gonna feel sick.
But thing, there you go. There go the back right there. There it is. There it is. You probably one of them people that's gangster with getting that bath work and lighting a candle and shit and really changing the game in these streets. Well,
and see, and that's why I want to do it very much so upright, because all my past life shit is hectic as hell. And I feel it very much so like dribbling in, even like with emotions. I'm pretty quick to anger nowadays, And it could be even small things.
Right.
And although it's like, I'm not going to lash out or anything, but it's just happening internally. And I'm like, damn, you know?
Yeah. Be careful of that with this Venus retrograde, because the way you got that Lilith in Scorpio place, you know what I'm saying? That can cause into some jealous rages and shit like that. You don't want that. Catching a case in these streets.
Yeah,
you know.
you have 20 degrees and 22 degrees on your sun. So just be careful. Pull it back a little bit. And here's what I want to say. It's definitely good to look back at past lives for, you know, learning things and seeing like the lessons that maybe we need to learn, relearn, but stay here in the present.
Yeah.
Stay in this one. Stay in this now.
Right. But you know what I mean? And then being present is going to be essential, because this direction that we going, and that's important for us, like she's saying, to be grounded in that. But however, when you talk about these past lives, like you ain't living there, that's the lesson you got. So that's reminding you that you good now. So study Aquarius. Because see, on your node, your south node is going to tell you about what your past life looked like. That's the lesson you already caught.
And that was Aquarius. So what's that mean?
Oh, the Aquarian energy is more that humanitarian energy, right? The humanitarian energy, let's talk about that. That's like, you know what I'm saying, having a lot of friends, you know what I'm saying, associates, network of friends. That's what the 11th house, where Aquarian, it rules over, you know what I'm saying? It's also
the closest sign to aliens. Aquarian,
right. Aliens, technology, all of that shit. So you know what I'm saying? This is going to
definitely wasn't human.
Right. This is going to give you an idea when you look at Aquarius energy of what your lessons were that you already got. You can be secure in that. That's money in the bank. That's why it's your comfort zone. See, you feel comfortable with groups of friends, associates, and shit like that. Technology is probably good for you and all of that type of shit, right? See, that's all of the things that's past life thing. The work you came here to do is show up and be who you are. That's why your node is in Leo. The heart of the matter. This retrograde is potentially life-changing for you, because not only is this Venus is activating so many planets, so many placements in your chart, but this node, even though the node is in Aries, the sister of it is Leo, but your Leo is the direction that you're going in, and it's being activated at this particular point in time. I lost my train of thought. Damn.
I'll help you.
Help me out, please. I lost where I was going.
Okay. Your north node is in Leo, your natal north node in the 10th house. So it's asking you to be creative in your career. Because their 10th house is your career. So it's asking you to really be assertive, to be creative. Because, you know, fire sign, action, we talked about that. You have a lot of fire there. And Leo is the sun. It's ruled by the sun. Nothing can thrive without the creation of the sun.
Absolutely.
So you're meant to be that uniqueness of the Leo, be the leader. You know, Leos are leaders, and create in your whatever you want in your career.
There you go.
But you have to get in touch. See, this is why I know you say you like to see it from a bigger picture, but I still kind of intuitively are feeling I need you to get more in touch with your emotions. You know, really get in touch with what you want. What do you want?
Right.
Like that emotion. What do you need? What do you need to create? What do you need to have that self-worth, to value yourself? You know, even more.
Even more so.
Even more so. I'm not saying you don't. I'm saying it's just beautiful how all these transits are kind of tapping into that same energy.
Right.
You know what I mean? Of how you feel grounded with the Pluto transit. Saturn, what do you find your joy in creation? Find your joy in play. With the North Node in Aries, I mean, in being in your natal node being in Leo. how do we want to create? And then the Aries being in the service, the North Node, the transiting node is in your service house.
Absolutely.
Like, how am I going to be of service to maybe myself, in my health, like in my career, for others, in my daily routine?
Yeah.
So it's all kind of connected. It's all beautifully connected. Watch out for jealousy.
Watch out
for revenge.
Watch out.
Watch out for destructive behaviors. Watch out for self-sabotaging things. Just watch out for that.
Right. Watch out for that type of stuff.
Accidents,
But yeah, you got this.
Yeah, but you got it.
Yeah, you got this. You got this. But this, like I said, this is part of the lesson that you came here to learn. And so we all came here to navigate a whole bunch of bullshitting ass energy. And there we go right there. But you got this one, though. Yeah, absolutely.
To say too, I get it. Like, you know how your north node, your south node is in Aquarius, and you know you have that connection to aliens and starseeds and all that, and maybe you even feel homesick a little bit, and that's why you always go back to past lives.
A little.
Okay.
Yeah.
A little.
Got a little bit sad because I got so overwhelmed with emotion, and I was like, guys, I just want to come home. Like, I miss you. Like, I don't feel grounded. Like, I don't feel comfortable. You know, because this energy is fucking rough. I'm not gonna lie, it is.
Yeah.
It's fucking rough, and we're all feeling homesick, or I am for sure. So I get it. You know, but we came here for a mission. Like, we came here to help. Others evolve, Earth evolve, ascend. So hold on, just hold on. It will get better. It's just a little rough right now.
Yeah.
We're all like, you know, having those ascension symptoms or emotions.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I feel you.
Absolutely. But yeah, and that stuff that we was just talking about, I just noticed something too, where your fortune is degree here at Capricorn. You know what I'm saying? But it's also at that Cancer degree, and that's all about really making sure that you are balancing that Capricorn energy with Cancer energy, instead of, you know what I'm saying, that more paternal energy, move it more to that nurturing, that, hey, this is the facts, this is what needs to be happening, get that shit done. You know, you got a friend crying to you about how, you know, her dude that she hooked up with was a fuck boy, and you be like, you picked him, fuck you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I'm just giving an example. You know what I'm saying?
That's really what happens.
Right. But that kind of energy right there, more of a supportive, nurturing energy that will, you know what I'm saying, that will help people feel supported at the end of the day, because it ain't what you say, is how you say it. You can tell them you picked him, fuck what you talking.
Man, that's what gets me though, because everything I say sounds so monotone. So it's like, it all sounds rough.
Right. Okay. But you know,
need to put on, practice some smiles in the mirror or something.
You're right. But not even that, because it's all, you know, like I say, Capricorn energy, you know, my husband's a Capricorn. So, you know, me and him, we kind of battle a little bit back and forth, because he comes from a good place, but it's always so rigid. You know what I'm saying? So standoffish, seemingly. You know what I'm saying? But it's really from a loving place that's here to help you grow. It's tough love. It's intensive care bear. You know?
Oh my gosh. Picturing like a little Care Bear with like a knife or something, red. It's so cute. Oh man.
And it just doesn't have to be a struggle. That's the whole thing where Capricorn is like, they think it has to be a struggle. And I get why they think that, because like we talked about, they're the goat. So they're like
climbing up hills. Right.
Climbing up hills constantly. But they have to learn it doesn't have to be a struggle. No. They just gotta let go of the control.
Absolutely.
Because they're like want to control it.
Absolutely.
Definitely.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You know what? Next week, I'm gonna just ask folks if they want to read. And I'm trying to set it up.
That was a great reading.
Get a damn reading. And we can definitely, like, we got so many things that's happening in these cosmos over this summertime, with all of the retrogrades that's going down. We got a lot of eclipses coming through in these streets. We got a lot of goings on that's going down. And then with this whole retrograde of Pluto being in Capricorn, there's a lot of stuff for the Cypher to be sipping on in a little bit, because soon and very soon, we will be seeing a lot of challenges to the way that the system has been going down. And it's, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be something for us to talk about. I assure you, you know what I'm saying? So we gonna get into a place where we gonna have to make sure we using discernment and figuring out what's distraction and what ain't. You know?
Yeah.
That's where we at this particular point in time. But you know, soon and very soon. You know,
Well, I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you.
not a problem at all.
You're very welcome.
Very welcome. Hey, listen, I'm gonna go ahead and close this cipher out. I appreciate everybody coming through. Definitely, you guys, y'all want to get a reading, just come on up. I don't know how to pull people up. You know, I ain't that savvy with technology and everything. And that way I'll know, you guys, when you guys come up, that, you know, there's people that would like this for us to take a look, see where things is at. And then that way we can move it along, because we can look at people's chart and talk all damn night. You know what I'm saying? That is a possibility. So, you know, just let us know that that's what time it is with y'all. And we will definitely make sure that we give you guys what you need that'll really assist you in navigating these energies that we're dealing with right about now. Because it's an exciting time right now, y'all. I am super psyched. Super psyched. But does anybody have anything that they want to say before I close it down? Bada bing? Nope.
Yeah. Okay.
Peace,
I just want
Brittany.
to say, thank you for having me.
Oh.
Definitely learn something, more about astrology the more I listen. So, yeah, definitely keep doing this.
Well, listen, I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all start, y'all can definitely come up in here. You know what I'm saying? And drop in any gems or anything that you guys may know or see, or any of that stuff with astrology. Iron sharpen iron, y'all. And that's what we're here for as a soul family, is to really, you know what I'm saying, help each other ascend out here. So, if there's, you know what I'm saying, if there's anything that I can do to assist anybody in being able to read their charts, definitely hit me up. I'm definitely here for it. But so I'm gonna go ahead and close the cipher out though, y'all. I love all of y'all so much. Thank you guys so much for just, coming here and just lending that energy. I appreciate that. And I'm gonna do this again next week. I gotta get off of there because the storm is coming through and oil be coming through, shutting it down. So I will get the hell up out of here.
All right.
All right, y'all. Peace and love. All right. Peace.
Peace and love.
Peace.